and Indiana Pacers are set to tip off right here, talking about the NBA Finals. Now, both teams are aiming to secure their first ever championship, bringing a potential historic moment to their respective cities. Now, Oklahoma City, fancied by oddsmakers after an NBA high 68 regular season win, will host Game 1 in the best-of-7 championship series. Onobulu Ayotunde, where is your smart money? Because this is tough to call. Both of them want to set a record to make history in this one. Game 1 will be in the home of Oklahoma City.
I mean, this is a series that's really interesting to view from so many angles because, first of all, OKC will go into the finals as favorites to win this one for so many reasons. You mentioned their regular season record, 68 wins, historical run for them, right? They have the best player in the game right now. This is the most valuable player in the game in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We've seen that their success is not just about what SGA does on the floor, it's about what the other players do, particularly on defense. Guys like Luke Dort, guys like Alex Caruso, whom LeBron James described in his podcast, as the ultimate Swiss Army knife. Doesn't score too many points, but when he's on the floor, his impact can be absolutely felt. So they look deeper. If you compare the players one-on-one to the Indiana Pacers starting five, you want to give the edge to OKC. They played twice in the regular season. OKC won both games. SGA averaged a very easy 39 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 7 rebounds in the season series between both teams. So it looks like this is tilted. This is OKC's year to win the title, right? But you cannot remove Indiana from that situation. First of all, I don't think anybody in their right frame of mind thought Indiana would make it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. The gist was about Boston, right? And it was about teams like Cleveland, who had a phenomenal regular season. Nobody thought Indiana could do the job, but Indiana shocked everybody. It wasn't just about one man, it was a collective effort. And that's why when they won the Eastern Conference Finals, Pascal Siakam was named Eastern Conference Finals most valuable player, not Tyrese Haliburton, who in my opinion is the best player in the team. That shows the depth of the team. That shows how much they play together. So it's going to be a tough one. OKC will remain the favorites, but I'm not surprised if this goes all the way to 7 games.
Of course, we also need to talk about the guard himself. Like you have said, he was the best player for the Pacers, Tyrese Haliburton. Against the OKC, of course, they know how to lock down their opponents. Do you think that this will also come to fore when they play Game 1 in the home of OKC, locking down Tyrese?
Now, if, there was the talk about Tyrese being voted by his peers as the most overrated player in the league in an anonymous poll, he responded with a series of incredible performances, including that Game 4 triple-double we have never seen before in NBA history in the Eastern Conference Finals against the New York Knicks. If there was ever a game for Haliburton to confirm, or if there was ever a series, a moment in time for him to confirm to haters and doubters that he's actually a superstar, it is this final series against OKC. He has to come out aggressive. But one thing I know for sure is Luke Dort of OKC is already waiting in the wings, rubbing his palms against each other and saying to the coach, just give me Hali. I got him. I'll lock him down, and not only him, because when he goes to the bench, when Alex Caruso comes to the floor, geez, it's going to be a major, major problem for Haliburton. And so if he finds a way to still impact the game in spite of the incredible defensive coverage on him, then he can cement his status as a superstar in the league. So it's going to be a big one. I guess the series will tilt and shift in the direction Haliburton decides. And that has a lot to do with how he responds to the defensive assignments on him and how he's able to galvanize. Remember, he doesn't even need to score to impact the game. The fact that he distributes the ball, he's a floor general, he's a point guard in his own right, that is going to be a lot tested in this series.
Right, so I look forward to that one, Game 1 in the home of OKC Thunder. I mean, the first time, and that was the only time I said I got him when I said I was going to take on a player defensively. My basketball shots got turned, so I don't even try to pressure myself again. Just play and enjoy the game. Now let's talk about something that we saw about the NBA as look forward to the All-Star weekend. That's for next year, to say the least. The NBA All-Star game is getting a major makeover next year with the USA versus the World format. Now, Commissioner Adam Silver announced the change on Wednesday, saying it will feature some form of Team USA against international players. The game moves to February 16th during the Winter Olympics, switching to an afternoon start. Now, Silva drew inspiration from the NHL's successful Four Nations face-off tournament, calling it a huge success. Now, what do you make of this? I remember one time we'll talk about the NBA saying it is a world championship, but we only see clubs in the US playing the game. But what do you make of this development?
First of all, credit to Adam Silver for listening to the voice of reason, because the All-Star game became an absolute travesty, became a blasphemy of basketball because players were no longer putting in effort. The superstars were just out there just doing absolute rubbish, making the game boring. I remember I was at the All-Star game in 2019 in Charlotte, and the arena was dead. Charlotte is one of the more exciting arenas in the NBA, but there was really nothing to cheer for. So this is great because now we can tell that competition is going to be back. Why? We all know the world players. We know their history. We know most of them did not come from a silver spoon, right? Most of them came from hardship. And it's similar with the NBA players also. But you know, the guys from outside the United States have a knack of playing with their might, playing for themselves, for their families, for the countries they represent. And there is no better opportunity to put that on full display than against Team United States of America. So that's going to be big. It's left to be seen who's going to be thrown out there for Team USA. But geez, can you imagine a starting lineup of some sort that has Luka, that has SGA, that has Giannis, that has Nikola Jokic? Come on, man. How you going to beat that? So that is going to be competition because the US boys will be like, yeah, this is our game. You are not going to beat us on our home turf, on our game, the game we introduced you to and introduced to you. So I feel like that is a big, big, big step in making the All-Star game good. I hope both teams and all sets of players come out there and, you know, give the fans a show for the ages. This might just be the revamp it actually needs.
Definitely, we need this revamp in the world of basketball, in the world of the NBA, and we definitely look forward to it. But first, we look forward to the game between OKC Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. But of course, we are out of time. I would say thank you very much, Onobolu, for joining us today. Looking forward to more updates. Game 1 goes down tonight. Hopefully, by tomorrow or next, you'll be able to join us to give a review of what we saw in Game 1. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much for having me, my brother. And